Back in high school, when I used to watch a ton of anime, there was one show in particular, amongst the others like Trigun or Cowboy Bebop or those kinds of shows, that was one of my favorites. And I don't know if a lot of people watch it today, but it was a series called The Slayers. Now, for those of you that are familiar with Lena Inverse, the outfit that Nendroid has given her actually appears to be from maybe the OAVs or the manga, as opposed to the anime series where, if I recall, she had a bit more like reds and whites. But it comes with a lot of stuff that is actually from the anime version, namely the Sword of Light and, well, actually she did the Dragon Slave in both versions, so that's pretty consistent. So she comes with a lot of different pieces. She has a fireball. She has what looks to be the released Dragon Slave. And so for people that aren't familiar, the Dragon Slave in the Slayers universe is one of the most powerful magic spells, and it draws upon the power of one of the legendary gods or demons of that world to draw its power. So let's open this up, shall we? Now, as with many Nendroids, what's cool is that she appears to come with multiple faces as well. She has a more action-y face where it looks like she's casting something and yelling, and she also has her general happy face. And as per her design, she always has this little like cat tooth kind of thing when there's something that's like amusing her, so that sometimes appears. She seems to have extra like float up hair for like when she casts the Dragon Slave, because that's usually what happens when she does it, along with various accessories. So let's open these up. Now, first off, as with all Nendroid items, it comes with a stand and some additional joints to help facilitate changing out her hands. But let's check out Lena first. So first off, I'd like to say, like, this is pretty nicely detailed. I know Nendroids generally have a pretty high quality as opposed to, say, Funko Pops. But I do particularly like the attention to detail. Her hair is really nicely detailed. She has a movable oops, oh shoot, the sword came out. She has a little sword that is attached to her back. She has other jewels where, like, I think in the anime, it's been a long time since I've watched it, but she actually wears jewelry and enchanted items that help augment her power. So whatever you see on here is premeditated. She knows exactly what she's wearing and why. Since it's a chibi version, don't expect like a crazy amount of movement, but you do get some decent leg movement through here. Her hips also completely swivel, so that's nice. She has arms that go out like this, and as I noted when I was opening up the box, there's additional elbows that seem to be included for, you know, like if she has more of a bendy position or something. Her cape, even though her hair kind of prevents it, allows for, like with this ball joint here, allows for actually quite a wide range of movement, and I think this is going to go better with her high up hair, because when her hair is like this, it should allow for her cape to just kind of go crazy. These shoulder pauldrons or whatever are on a little ball joint in here, but they can kind of come out easily. So we have a couple different faces. We have the general face that she comes with, and then we also have her angry face. Now, I believe these two dots, story-wise, actually the original manga artist, the creator of the series, had added these dots because they thought that her face looked a little plain or lonely without more details. So it's this kind of a quirk that she has. They appear to be freckles or moles that she always hides with her headband. Now, the paint job, as with many Nendroids, is really nicely done. Very crisp lines, great shading, everything looks fantastic. You see a lot of little details too, like the little, whatever these symbols are, probably some kind of magic incantation that's on her headband. The nice paint job on her earrings, and in general, she's really well done. Same thing, of course, with her angry face. Everything is very nicely detailed, great paint job. So this is her, definitely her casting face that she does. And of course, she's kind of a naughty character because she knows she's awesome, and she also likes causing a lot of mischief and and misfortune on other people that deserve it. So this is usually her like, haha, I got you face that she does after she's scored a lot of loot from some bandits or she's won the day. Little add-ons too. So there'll be some pieces we'll put together. These are effect pieces from when she casts her Dragon Slave, because usually it's such an incredibly powerful spell that it kicks up a lot of dust and wind around her when she casts it, along with the impact piece that connects with the actual blast. So this also has a little hole here that looks like it's going to connect to something to keep it up in the air, so it looks like it's floating. Here's an extra bendy. As I mentioned, since the default legs are stiff, there's a little bendy leg if she wants to like do some action thing where she's kicking her leg up in the air. And of course she also has this weapon here. Initially I thought this weapon was the Ragna Blade, which is from the second season of the Slayers anime, because it kind of looks like it, and that would be cool, but I noticed that this pommel, this handle, definitely seems to be the three-pronged handle from the Sword of Light that's in the series that this character named Gowry Gabria wields. It's like a family heirloom. So when I kind of looked back through the episodes to remind myself what the hell it was, this is actually when she cast an even stronger spell called the Giga Slave and put it into the Sword of Light to kind of magnify its power and kill this big demon king called Shabernigdo. It's a lot of information all at once, but I do recommend the anime. It's a really cool anime. But anyway, this Giga Blade sword is really cool because it has like a bit of a translucent plastic here where you can see the see-through purple, but it kind of goes into an opaque black as you go down, so that's pretty neat. Now, in tune with this, if you ordered Lina from Good Smile itself, direct from their store, they also provide you this extra, which is only available pre-ordering through them and not through like a third party. Now what this appears to be is the aforementioned Sword of Light, but the non-Giga Blade version, the natural Sword of Light. That's weird. It's just the blade and then her hand, which looks like a little pointer hand. So let's see, that must mean presumably, can you take the hilt off of this? Oh, you can, okay. Alright, so this is what they did for their extra. You can remove the Giga Blade, or the Giga Slave blade, sorry, and replace it with a Sword of Light. So we have a nice cool translucent blue for the original Sword of Light's blade. We just attach that, and that is more akin to the blade that Gowry wields. Now, if they ever make a Gowry Nendroid, that'll be awesome because that means I already have the Sword of Light to go with him. And I hope they do, because this Lina figure is really awesome. Before I forget, last but not least, there's a small selection of hand poses that comes with her as well. Just open hands, fists, peace sign, and what appears to be either a fireball or the very beginning of casting the Dragon Slave. And the other thing that's handy too is that it also comes with, in case you get confused, a little pamphlet that explains the different pieces and kind of like how they can go together. Here shows the various pieces of the Dragon Slave, of the Giga Slave blade, how you can construct them and what they could be used for. See here, how to attach the parts. You can remove the bottom of the sword so you could slip in her little fist hand so that it can actually hold the fist like I've got here. But yeah, other than that, I would say if you ever enjoyed watching the Slayers or are a big fan of it, this Lina Inverse is pretty much perfect. It has a lot of really nice details and a lot of nods to stuff that she did in the series. So it's a really great piece for any Slayers enthusiast or anybody that may be starting to get into the series. I totally recommend it. But before we go, there's one thing I have to do.
Power beyond the twilight and crimson blood that flows, buried in the stream of time, is where your power grows. I pledge myself to conquer all the foes who stand against the mighty gift bestowed in my unworthy hand.